All right. So here we are. Okay. Bird. This is like a flashcard format. Okay. So if you wanted to make flashcards, you could. The bolded terms would be, your vocabulary or your terms, and then the non-bolded or just normal type would be things that you could be describing the term. All right. So endothermic is the first one that we're talking about. They're the only other class of animals that are endothermic like us. Endothermic means warm-blooded. Okay, remember therm means it has to do with heat. Okay, endothermic, warm-blooded. Temperatures in the range of 40 degrees Celsius to 44 degrees Celsius, and that's hard for us to visualize or think about because we really don't talk about temperature in the term of Celsius typically. So that is 104 degrees Fahrenheit to 111 degrees Fahrenheit. A little bit warmer blood or body temperature than us, right? Ours is hovering around 98.6, close to 99 degrees, right? Close to, if you got to 100, you'd be probably running a fever. Okay, so warm-blooded animals, temperatures in the range of 104 degrees Fahrenheit to 111 degrees Fahrenheit. Their heart has 4 chambers, just like the fetal pig and just like yours. Okay, and here's other things you could add to that. The upper chambers are the atria. One atria, is an atrium. Okay, so you have your right atrium, your left atrium, and your right ventricle and your left ventricle. If you are talking about more than one atrium, it is they are atria, not atriums. Okay, it's one of those weird words where there is no S at the end if it's a plural. Okay, everybody with me there? 4-chambered heart. Remember, amphibians had a 3-chambered heart, only had 1 ventricle. But mammals typically have a 4-chambered heart, and birds have a 4-chambered heart. Okay, and allows them to pump that blood to and from the lungs and to the rest of the body. Let's talk about the bird's diet. Okay, you probably know this, right? They like to eat seeds, wide range of food. Nectar, right? Hummingbirds, right? See them beating their wings really fast, humming around flower beds, and maybe by your window if you've got flowers near there, or maybe if you got a bird feeder full of the nectar for them. Okay, the nectar from plants. Some of them eat blood. Insects, okay, fruits. Seeds, a big one, right? Seeds. Meat. Carrion. Carrion is dead animals. So who has seen vultures, turkey vultures? Nope. Yeah, they're around a lot out in the country. I see them all the time.
I have a video of one because a few weekends ago I went to my great grandpa's house, and because he died a while back. And we haven't seen his house in a long, long time, so we went to his barn, and there was a turkey vulture stuck in the top part.
Stuck?
Yeah.
Oh, like in his barn?
Yeah.
Couldn't get out?
Well, it could get out. There was a little hole that it could get out.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right. So turkey vultures will eat carrion. They have highly developed sense of smell, and they can smell dead animals from like miles away. Crazy ability. Rootlets, so just parts of roots, and then leaves. Okay, so wide range of foods depending on the species, right? Depending on the species. Some of them eat other animals, and that would make they have some carnivorous aspects to them, and others are feeding on seeds, fruits, nectars. Okay, so classification. Okay, classification. Of course, we are in the kingdom Animalia. The phylum Chordata, subphylum. Okay, this is one thing that we don't really mention. We go kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. But subphylum, there are subphylums, subclasses, suborders, subfamilies, right? Just kind of a little more ways to break it down, but we don't necessarily need to memorize every single sub, okay? Phylum Chordata, that means vertebrates. Subphylum Vertebrata, okay? The class is Aves, okay? Aves. Aviation, anyone ever heard of that? An aviator, right? It has to do with flight. Okay, makes sense that the bird is Aves. Okay, Has to do with flight. Okay, so that is the class. The class is obvious. And then we get further broken down into orders. The orders are separated by specialized structures such as beaks, feet, and wings. So birds can be separated based on these things. So think of like birds of prey, right? Birds of prey meaning eagles, hawks, falcons, things of that nature, that birds that actually hunt their prey and have to dive. And what do they have on their feet?
Claws.
Very large talons, right? And their beaks are made for tearing that flesh, right? Okay, whereas think of like a robin, a chickadee.
Don't they have kind of like curved beaks? Like kind of like.
The eagles? Yeah, eagles and falcon, right? They have that curved beak that's
Yeah.
pretty sharp at the end. It's made for like tearing that flesh.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, now think of like a robin, chickadee, cardinal. Okay. More of a stubby beak. Okay. More of a stubby beak for eating seeds, pecking maybe some worms and other insects. Their feet made to do what?
Kind of like grip.
Yeah, perch on like twigs and such,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, okay. So you can see how these things can get separated. Maybe you have birds with webbed feet, right? Like pelicans, ducks, yeah, right? Okay, geese, things like that. So these are how things can be further separated out when we get into that. And then the last point we'll make today is all birds are true egg layers. And that one, I think most of us are pretty well aware. Yes.
Well, Parker, are you a bird? I don't know.
I think birds is one of the more interesting things that we get to
I
study.
mean, we used to have like webbed feet. Parker has a lot. I do. They just like
Yeah, he does have
All right.
It's weird.